The story of Elizabeth Báthory, the Blood Countess. Elizabeth Báthory, born in 1560 in Hungary, is one of history's most infamous figures, remembered as the Blood Countess due to the gruesome nature of her alleged crimes. She came from an influential and noble family, with powerful relatives, including kings, princes, and cardinals. Her family's wealth and status protected her for much of her life, but after her death, stories of her monstrous deeds captured the public's imagination. Early life and marriage. Elizabeth was raised in privilege, but also in an environment rife with violence and cruelty. She reportedly witnessed brutal punishments being carried out on servants and peasants as a child, which may have desensitized her to violence. At the age of 15, she married Count Ferenc Nadasdy, a soldier known for his own reputation for cruelty in battle. Together, they lived at the castle of Countess, now in modern Slovakia, where many of her alleged crimes took place. While Ferenc was often away at war, Elizabeth managed the family estates and the household, which included numerous servants and young girls employed as maids and seamstresses. It is believed that her violent tendencies began to manifest during this time. The crimes Elizabeth Báthory's crimes were said to have spanned decades, from the 1590s to her arrest in 1610. She allegedly lured young peasant girls to her castle with promises of work as servants. However, instead of honest employment, the girls faced unimaginable horrors. According to accounts, Elizabeth tortured her victims in horrific ways. Some testimonies describe her beating, stabbing, and burning the girls, often with hot irons. She allegedly bit chunks of flesh from their bodies, cut them with scissors, and even froze some of them to death during the winter. Other reports claim she starved them, burned them with candles, and forced needles under their fingernails. The most infamous, though debated, claim about Elizabeth Báthory is that she bathed in the blood of young virgins to maintain her youth and beauty. This legend likely originated years after her death and was fueled by folklore rather than evidence. Modern historians argue that this part of the story was likely exaggerated or entirely fabricated. Investigation and trial. Elizabeth's crimes went unchecked for years due to her noble status. However, as rumors spread, complaints reached King Matthias II of Hungary. In 1610, the king ordered an investigation led by Count György Thurzo, a trusted relative of the Báthory family. When Thurzo's men raided Countess castle, they reportedly found evidence of torture and mutilated bodies. Some sources say they even discovered girls who were still alive but severely injured. The investigation revealed testimonies from over 300 witnesses, many of whom described the grisly details of Elizabeth's cruelty. The most shocking part of the investigation was the alleged number of victims. Witnesses claimed that Elizabeth had killed anywhere from 80 to over 600 girls, though the higher figure is often dismissed as a legend. The exact number of her victims remains unknown. Imprisonment and death. Elizabeth was never formally tried or executed due to her noble status. However, 4 of her accomplices, servants who allegedly helped her carry out the murders, were put on trial and executed. 2 were burned alive, while another had her fingers torn off before being thrown into the fire. 1 accomplice was sentenced to life imprisonment. As for Elizabeth, she was placed under house arrest in her castle. She was confined to a small set of rooms with bricked-up windows, where she lived for the remaining 4 years of her life. In 1614, she was found dead in her cell. Some reports say she died quietly in her sleep, while others suggest she starved herself to death. Legacy and debate. Elizabeth Báthory's reputation as one of history's most prolific female killers has endured for centuries. However, some historians argue that much of her story may have been exaggerated or fabricated. Given the political climate of the time, it is possible that powerful families sought to discredit her and seize her vast wealth. Some suggest that she was the victim of a politically motivated conspiracy rather than a genuine sadist. Nevertheless, the evidence against her is substantial, with numerous testimonies detailing horrific abuse. Whether she killed 80 or 600 girls, there is little doubt that Elizabeth Báthory played a role in a series of gruesome events that left a dark mark on history. Today, Elizabeth Báthory remains a figure of both horror and intrigue, often featured in books, movies, and legends as a symbol of female villainy. The truth of her story, however, may forever remain a mystery.